Hey folks, my name is Dr. Wasabi and I have just finished the Ruin DLC on Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. Honestly, a lot of questions I have, but the main thing that we're going to focus on in today's video is Glamrock Bonnie, because I am in her office, or his office, and I have some amazing theories on this. I thought I'd do a bit of a unique video in this case, because I was kind of on stream investigating this room, and there's loads of stuff that really directs me to believe what happened to Bonnie. Now, of course, if you watched any other videos on this, you'll know that Glamrock Bonnie has been found in a separate room from this, most likely that room here. But the main thing I want to kind of go with you folks is how actually did Bonnie end up this way? Now, I've got a few ideas I'm going to go with you folks. Well, I've got one idea, but different bits of evidence I want to show with you folks. This is a kind of nitpick, so to speak, on what really happened, because of course we are in the Bonnie Bowling. Now, if you go to the backside of the Bonnie Ball, once you've done all of the quests, you know, you've made all of the nodes disappear, and fought off the army of mini music mans in the Bonnie Bowling as a whole, you will go into this office, which as a whole is full of secrets. And the first of which is to our left. So if I shine my light over by the electrical high voltage area, I don't know why you would have this in your main kind of Glamrock dressing room, but okay. We see various scratch marks upon the kind of metal casing of the high voltage generator itself. Now, some might say that this is Montgomery Gator, but I'm not so sure about that, simply because the actual scratch marks are very much smaller, you know, because we are playing as a 8-year-old girl or some kind of child. So this, in comparison to our size, doesn't really speak of anything that could be as big as Monty's claws. Now, my idea is that this is Bonnie's, and I'll show you why in a second if we go and take on our Vanny mask. So going over to the other side, we have a bit of a scene going on here. Now, loads of security bots are over here. Now, because this scene in particular has me interested, I originally thought it was Bonnie in the stream, but now I give it a closer inspection, it's actually a security bot that is kind of taking out bowling pins. But because of how this game works, you know, Steel Wool is such an amazing studio when it comes to kind of environmental storytelling. I think that this in general is somewhat of a metaphor for what happened to Bonnie, just because of the way that it's set up, you know, tangled by mechanical structures of the bowling alley itself, as well as the kind of the way it's hidden. It's almost as if Steel Wool placed here as if us to be intrigued by it, rather than just putting it, you know, smack dab in front of the railing. Now, the second detail I noticed alongside this is the placement of this security bot in particular. Now, it's over here, just kind of minding its own business, just kind of holding a bowling pin, so to speak, but if we put on the Vanny mask, it's moved backwards. Now, the interpretation I've got for this is somehow this is going to be happening in the past, because, you know, it's kind of following a route over to this area of the map, and of course we've got various other things like these scratch marks, which are actually tallies, if you could think like that. So something maybe somewhere in the bowling alley that kind of happened to Glamrock Bonnie. Now, the only place we have really seen this is in a different part of the map, which leads me to believe that Vanny is particularly responsible for this. Now, the only reason I do say that is that the only real human that has spent any time in the Pizzaplex at this moment in time has been Vanny. You know, Gregory doesn't really keep tabs. He's just, you know, somewhere else at the Pizzaplex. Now, again, this could tread a whole bunch of other theories. Again, I'm just kind of spouting my mind on this, so to speak, because I just thought it was really interesting how these kind of details lock themselves together. A great effort by Steel Wool in my opinion. Really, really good storytelling, at least environmentally. In terms of Ruin as a DLC, I'm really excited about what's been going on. But enough about me blabbering, let's get on to the third bit of evidence. So, moving on to the back part of the show stage area, like so, we have a security bot just staring into your soul as such. So let's just get out our kind of security bit. Vanny mask, like so. So obviously we have been through the security gate, Now we go over to what looks like either Freddy's or Bonnie's charging pod. I think this may be Freddy, I'm not quite sure, because there is quite a connection as seen in his office between Bonnie and Freddy. So I'm not entirely sure whose this really belongs to. But what we can know is that there is definitely the presence of Bonnie over here, because we got a plushie over here, and usually in Security Breach, plushies really are a denominator for a character being there at some point. We got there with like Night Marion and other things like that, so it's just one of those small details that add up to a bigger point. One more detail, folks, to show you is the fact that Bonnie has his own dressing room. Now I know obviously we've been showing this before, but I do find it odd that Bonnie has his own dressing room over here rather in Rockstar Row, because, you know, of course the original theory was that Bonnie was part of the main cast, but then, you know, Monty got jealous and kind of offed him, so to speak. But the more I think about that, the more I don't think it makes any sense when looking at this area, because if you go and explore the area in Security Breach, there isn't quite a lot of areas where you'll find different dressing rooms, apart from those on Rockstar Row. You have, of course, Freddy, you've got Monty, you've got Chica, and of course you've got Roxanne. So this kind of leads me to believe that Bonnie had his own kind of area before he actually got offed by, you know, it could be anyone, it could be Monty, it could be Vanny, but we'll get to that in a second. But he definitely had a main set area over here, which kind of leads to his stage on the ice cream parlor in Bonnie's Bowling. Now, one more detail I want to say, I know I said this was the final detail, but this is the final detail, is the fact that these security bots have been absolutely ripped to shreds. Now, if we actually look over here, we can tell that this is an individual detail, because a lot of these, you know, they don't have the same scratch marks, and they don't really show the same stages of this being torn open like a tin can. So we do find another one over here. We'll see a very definite detail of these scratch marks like so. Now this could be Monty again, if you do subscribe to the theory that he did actually take out Bonnie, but in my opinion this more sounds like Bonnie kind of fighting other security bots, and the fact that these scratch marks on the electrical box were at the bottom rather than more at the top leads me to believe that he was being dragged away some sort, and then he tried to kind of fight back and you know kind of destroy the different security bots, in my opinion. Now, of course, this is just a bit of me ranting on about stuff I found in Security Breach Ruin. Of course, if you do want to have a discussion about this, please do so in the comment section below. Overall, I'm really fascinated and happy with how Steel Wool has done this in terms of detail. Ruin has been a big upgrade, in my opinion, to the kind of storytelling of the game itself. The ending was a bit kind of open-ended, but in terms of environmental storytelling, Steel Wool has it in the bag, at least in my opinion, as well as a kind of general upgrade in horror aesthetics. But of course, that has been this video for today, a quick rant or, you know, theory episode on what has happened to, of course, a Glamrock Bonnie in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. I do hope you liked this video. It's a bit of a one-off, in my opinion. We'll see how it does, but in my opinion, this is the way this has kind of happened. And of course, if you disagree, you disagree, and of course, if you do agree, you agree. So, folks, that's been our video for today. I want to say thank you for watching this video. My name has been Dr. Wasabi. I bid you a most pleasant good evening, and of course, as always, God bless. And now, folks, it is time to say good night. We sincerely appreciate your viewing and hope we've succeeded in providing you with an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Stay happy and come back again soon. Good night.